Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Monday. It's Daryl here. It's bright and freaking early, 3:30 a.m. on the dot here in Connecticut on the East Coast. Okay, if it's Sunday or Monday, it must be Trump rally report day. Yes, the favorite time of the week. It's actually late this week. I usually do this on Sunday, but for some reason, all these news feeds, all this information just came out a little late. But I'm glad because I got so much I had to write it down. All right, let's just get into this. There was a Trump rally Saturday night in Nebraska. A lot of the same stuff, but there's one biggie I want to talk about. I'm going to save it for a bit. All right, let's start at the very beginning. The song plays. I'm proud to be an American, because all that stuff. And Trump comes chugging out. Now Trump's almost 80, right? And he's dancing. I can't seriously sit here and call it dancing. It looks like some pseudo robot village people moves. To watch an 80-year-old man chug across, a lot of the comments I got, the links will be down below. A lot of comments I got, seriously, like where he's off his meds, or it looks like he's drunk. It's painful. It's painful to watch this guy. I can't even use the word dance across the stage. All right, okay. So then, as usual, I gotta laugh, man. As usual. Right in the camera view, right behind Trump, is the one black face. Again, like as usual, same guy, same shirt, same white shirt, same black lettering, blacks for Trump. Same sign, blacks for Trump. Same guy. And it's perfectly right behind Trump's ear. So Trump's right in camera range, and he's right there. Can't miss him. The one black face. Is it just me? Or does the word token, is that okay? It's kind of obvious. Does that word come to mind at all? Okay, so then, oh wait, there was another blackface. There was the same reverend that's been at the same rallies for the last five weeks. There's a couple of things that stood out as this reverend was giving his invocations, whatever it's called. And he's saying that we got to get more God fear, got to get God back in the White House, back in the schools. And then he talked about this. The rally was for Charles Herbster, this cowboy hat wearing real man guy. I'm from Connecticut, man, and we don't see many people wearing these big 10-gallon cowboy hats, and when we do, we laugh. I hate to say that, but around here, it's kind of funny to see. Anyway. All right, so this rally is for Charles Herbster. Charles Herbster has been accused by eight women, no less than 8 women, of groping them. Now, I tend to believe women. If you go back, you see stuff happened to me. And, a lot of people out there will say, well, she's going to get rich writing a book. They're all going to get rich writing a book. They're going to get famous. Talking about that stuff is painful. It's not something you ever want to talk about. And I have a hard time believing that 8 entire women would be lying. But anyway, let's just go back to Donald Trump and him on record actually saying that he enjoys, he could do this, he could grab women. I think, Republicans are okay with this. They're okay with this. I think they're okay with if women are asking for it. If they dress in a certain way, if they come from like broken homes where there's no dad or husband that could beat them up, if they just come like from a home with a mother, seriously, this is seriously what I believe, then it's okay, because they're fallen women, or seriously, that's my opinion, because these guys don't seem to grope each other's wives and mother. Maybe they do, I don't know, but I think they're okay with this. So this whole thing about Charles Herbster and being accused by 8 women, to Trump supporters, that's probably a good thing, because he's acting like a man and not like one of them trans people. Seriously. Oh, speaking of trans people. All right, so Trump starts talking. He keeps telling the people over and over again that they are lucky. They're lucky he's here, because he could have gotten out of this one. He could have gotten out of this. Apparently, there might have been bad weather in Nebraska. He tells it like 4 or 5, at least, times. He tells the people, and these people that came here, paid to see him, waited in line for hours. You're lucky I'm here, because I could have gotten out of this. I didn't have to come here. He says this. He says, I could have been playing golf, or I could have been on the beach. He actually says this. He says, hey, could you imagine Trump on the beach in a banana hammock? All right. Okay, back to the trans people. All right. So Trump says this. He starts talking about basketball. He says, I'd have 5 guys. I'd have 5 men. And, he's because he wants to win. So, he's saying that, in other words, if he had a basketball team, he'd have like real men. And then he says this. He said, I'd ask LeBron James, are you going to go woman? This is a quote. He says, I would ask LeBron James, are you going to go woman? Are you going to turn woman? Are you going to go woman? I think I understand. This is like a complete misconception. Shows a complete right over their heads what any of this is all about. Like on certain days, these trans people just pick a day and they're women one day and they're men the next day, and it's like a fad. A complete ignorance to human psychology, human sexuality, just a complete lack of knowledge and total ignorance of everything. All right. Here's the big one. Here's the big one. Here's the one you've been waiting for, man. A couple days ago, I think it was just last week, I talked about J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance has got this big thing because I think his mother's an addict, and that's terrible, and I would never say anything bad about that. But J.D. Vance has got this big thing about fentanyl and the Mexico border and the border. About, he truly believes that it's all Mexico's fault, that his mother's an addict. No. People are addicts. That happens. I won't go. Don't get me going on that. So anyway, he just endorsed J.D. Vance in Ohio, not even a week ago. So Trump's there now. To all you guys that put down Biden, that Biden's losing his mind. Trump was just bragging about his cognitive abilities, right? About how he aced the cognitive. It was an IQ test. It was a cognitive ability test. And man, woman, camera, all that. Remember that stuff? How he keeps bragging about that. So he just endorsed J.D. Vance last week, and he says this to the audience, and I got the clips of this right down below. He says, "What about that JP? Huh? That JP?" And you can tell right there. First of all, it's not JP, it's JD. Second of all, you could tell right there that he's pulling a blank. He can't even remember the guy's name, J.D. Vance. He just endorsed this guy just last week in Ohio. Just went to the rally, and he can't remember his name. Wait, it gets better. J.D. Vance is running against Josh Mandel. That's his opponent, Josh Mandel. So Trump says, "What about that JP?" And you can see him look off stage because he's pulling a blank. And he goes, that JD Mandel. He calls the guy he endorsed J.D. Vance. He calls him JP and then J.D. Mandel, where he combines his opponent's name with the guy he endorsed. Trump supporters, if you're out there, hello. Tell me about this. You constantly knocking Biden. What's going on here? Trump brags about his cognitive abilities, and he can't remember. He was just in Ohio. He just endorsed this. He talked about this guy for hours last week, and he actually can't remember the initials JD from JP, and then he actually combines his opponent's name Mandel with his name. He doesn't even know who he endorsed just days ago. And this is the guy that you think is so much more savvy than Biden. Good Lord. I don't get it. Again, as I watch this, and there's more, I could go on more here, but every single time I just watch this and I always, you guys must do this too, I'm sure. I look at the faces in the background and I watch them because for the life of me, I don't understand how they could. This guy he talks about himself and he's so arrogant and narcissistic. That's the biggest thing, besides for being an idiot. And I'm like, are these people even human beings? Because I don't understand how they could sit there to how they could support this guy. All right. I'll do another video later. You guys have a good Monday.